Motivation to Success, Bob Proctor. Do it right now, and you'll never think about money again. You can get in that 3%. You can make a lot of money. I think earning is one of the easiest things I've ever mastered. It's also one of the most understudied ones. If it worked out for me, it will work out for you too. Alright, here we go. I want you to think about your life for a moment, including your income. I want you to think about money. Not many people want to talk about money. When you do start talking about it, you are looked upon with hostility and told that money is not the main thing. But that's just stupid. Of course, money is not the main thing, but it is important. It's very important. If someone comes to work for me, I ask them what is the maximum amount of income they have earned in a year. I never judge the answer. I'm just curious to hear it. In fact, when a person answers that question, it shows exactly how their brain is programmed. When it comes to money, we're all programmed. You have a program. I have a program too. But for many people, it works according to a script made up by someone else. It is a product of someone's established way of thinking. But what if we rewrite that program? All your gnawing problems, the lack of money, the words of someone close to you that you are going nowhere and wasting your time. What to do about them all? If you've already heard what I'm about to say, it wouldn't be bad to say it again. If this is the first time you've heard it, get ready, you're going to love it. You need to learn how to create whatever you want. You have to have several sources of income. Let's go back 1,000 years to ancient Babylon and see that all rich people had multiple sources of income. 3% of the population earns 97% of all the money available. They say it's not fair, but that's the pattern. Our income is the fruit of our production, that's all. Some of that 3% are not very educated, at least in terms of modern education. Some of them are completely illiterate and can neither read nor write. Someone is just a genius, but there are geniuses among those 97% who share the rest of the 3% of the money. Like the video if you would like to become that 3% to earn 97% of the world's money. Why and how does this happen? My income has increased from $4,000 to $175,000 in 1 year, and it happened thanks to the concept that I want to share with you. But you have to realize that making money is not something that happens by accident. Throughout history, wealthy people had several sources of income. This is not an accident, and you can use it too. There is a law of compensation, and it always works. If we release something, it's bound to fall. That's the unshakable law of gravity. The law of the world is very precise. According to this law, the amount of money you earn is in direct relation to how much people need your work and your ability, and how hard it is to replace you. In my business, there is an opportunity to make millions, and I make those millions, not because I'm smarter than my neighbor or because I'm luckier. I make millions because there are people in this field who have an incredible need in what I do. You have to find that kind of need, and then you have to be very good at fulfilling it. Imagine a bucket of water. Put your hand in it. If you take it back out, all the water remains in the bucket. You can create waves. You can scoop as much as you want into your palm while your hands are in the water. But as soon as you lift your hands up, everything will go back to normal. There is no such thing as an irreplaceable person. But there are still some people that are very hard to replace. If you want to become better than others at something, you have to focus on your ability to progress. Become a master of what you do. That's where your focus has to be. Money is just a reward, mastery is a cause, and money is a consequence. If you deal with the cause, the effect won't be long in coming. Think of Elvis Presley. There is still money coming into his account from the recordings being played on the radio. Every time his song is played on the radio, the money is added to the account. It's called passive income. You can create your own source of income all around the world. You ask how? You don't have to know it. You just have to make the decision that you will do it. And the way you do it will come later. Are you intrigued? Then watch this video to the end, as Bob Proctor will give you a step-by-step plan on how to get to your first million. Don't let doubt stop you. As soon as you have your first source, it will be followed by the second one. And I believe you can create a source of income that is related to what you're already doing. You may say, I don't know how to do it and where to search. But of course you don't know. You're in the very beginning. I also didn't know anything when I first started, and I couldn't even read very well. I only went to high school for 2 months, and I had absolutely no experience in business. So how did I start? I'll tell you in a moment. I borrowed $1,000 and bought a used cleaning machine, mops and buckets. I started a cleaning company. First I got one office. I visited it twice a month and I got $15 at a time. Then I found another office for $65 a month and ended up getting $95. Gradually, I made it to $400 a month, but one day I fainted right on the street. I thought I just had to work harder, find more offices, but it didn't work. I was exhausted. I thought the answer to everything was hard work, but it wasn't. A voice inside me told me I was doing something wrong. And then another voice said, "If you can't watch them all, then don't watch them at all." 5 years later, I cleaned offices in Toronto, Montreal, Boston, Cleveland, Atlanta, and London. The money poured in like a river. I'm not saying you have to do the same thing. I'm saying I came across something important. It took me 10 years to figure out exactly what I do differently. I'm curious, what kind of ideas for sources of income come to you? Write in the comments. Let's share ideas and get rich together. I have created several sources of income. When you yourself create them, you will have a question if they are all the same, if you will earn equally from each one. No, of course not. Some of them will not even work out. They will fade out even before they are lit up. But there are so many different ways to create them. You can master a remote profession, become an online marketeer, or do affiliate marketing. You see, you have an endless number of options. You just have to decide that you want to have many different sources of income. And you don't need to know how you will do it. Once you make that decision, the ideas will start coming to you. Some ideas will blow up, some will not, but you should know that they have one thing in common. They will all bring money to the account, sometimes more, sometimes less. We started with the fact that 3% of people make 97% of all money, and the chance of your children learning how to make money is pretty damn small. If you don't teach them, they may never learn it because it's not taught in school. Many people will say that it is absurd, that you have to work hard to earn a lot. It is not like that. You think that you are providing a certain service for money, but if you learn how to earn that money properly, you can earn so much while you sleep that you can spend it during the day. We all have a limited amount of time, so the way we manage that time is what really matters. Those 3% knows this. They invest a lot to earn even more. But how do they do it? They create many different sources of income, thus multiplying their time. If you really want to take everything from life, here's how you can achieve that. And it is so obvious, plain and simple. Of course, it can be studied in detail, but the basic idea is extremely simple. You can do anything. There are no boundaries, but you have to define clearly what you are going to do and write down in detail how you want to live your life. Just write it down and start looking for a way to achieve it. Anybody can make $1 million. I believe I can teach anybody, but you have to make up your mind to do it. If you don't make up your mind, the chances will get much lower, and it won't happen overnight. Give yourself at least half a year to fully understand it and learn how to create a source of income. And once you learn it, you can start to multiply your wealth. The main thing is to be honest with yourself and admit to yourself what you really want. Your actions and deeds should be based on your values, not someone else's desires.